Doctors, what's it like when you get sick? Do you go to the doctor or diagnose yourself? Doc here. As a general rule, med students are hypochondriacs. Doctors are invincible. My pediatrician once told me an amusing story about when her daughter got sick. She brought her daughter into urgent care, among her co-workers, and was freaking out, not sure what could be wrong with her daughter. Her co-workers looked at her and went, "You're a pediatrician, I know, but I can't think straight." This may vary according to your country, but if I get sick I can diagnose myself in the sense that I can say, yep, this is probably X, I should do this and that test or take this or that drugs, but I cannot self-prescribe anything. I need another doctor to prescribe it for me. No pharmacy can accept a prescription with the same name for the doctor and the patient, and no clinic can accept a request for an exam. The only exception is for use in an emergency. In that case I can self-prescribe. My friend's parents are GPs, and there are laws in the UK so you can't be formally diagnosed etc. by family members. So as a kid their parent would take them to the dress like they have this and this, and the other doctor would just nod and prescribe medicine, ha. I cry to my wife, who is also a doc, and proceed to refuse every remedy she offers me. I'm a veterinarian. When my own pets get sick, I turn into a useless, crying idiot. Luckily I have good colleagues to turn to. I asked my gynecologist, who is one of several women gynecologists in her practice, where a gynecologist goes for her yearly exam. She said she goes to one of her colleagues, but most of them go to a completely different practice for their exams and stuff. I'm a dentist. I regularly tell my patients with TMJ issues how to alleviate their pain, reduce stress, cut out caffeine, sleep in literally any position other than your stomach, stop chewing gum, hold your head/neck in a proper position, actually get a night guard and wear it. I've had TMJ pain on and off for 6 years. I do all of the things I tell my patients not to do. I do them every single day and often to excess. Long story short, I diagnose myself. I don't treat myself. My friend who's a doctor for a hospital always diagnoses herself and will call out due to the fact she doesn't want to get others sick. Her colleagues are almost always the same and completely understand the reasoning. I am a urologist. Got testicular cancer during my chief residency year. I was shaving one day and just felt the lump down there. I immediately knew what it was, and that it needed to come out immediately. Scary how fast it showed. One day it's a normal testicle and the other, oh, there's a hard lump inside. The next day walked into the ultrasound unit to get it confirmed, spoke to my boss who did the surgery the following day. Ironically I had removed another patient's testicle for cancer just a week prior to that. Edit, typo. Pharmacist here, and it seems several people have questioned if it is legal for doctors to write prescriptions for themselves. It is legal, at least in Illinois. It may not be in other states, but there are potentially ethical issues if it is for a controlled substance or for a type of medication that is outside their normal scope of practice. I don't really go to the doctor except for annual checkups/labs. I do, however, self-prescribe things like eczema cream and asthma inhalers. A lot of this is driven by being a young resident, thus A, not really the demographic likely to have serious health issues, and B, not really having the time to go see a doctor due to my work schedule. Many of my peers have self-diagnosed themselves with appendicitis, small bowel obstructions, pneumonia, etc. and then presented to the ED though. I've also done the same for a lot of my friends over the phone. I am a resident. I had a doctor's appointment and I let my attending know a week in advance. He chewed me out over email and CC'd my program director, saying that I obviously didn't take the rotation seriously. My PD was pissed. They had my back and told me to go to the appointment. The attending emailed me the next day with a forced apology. Asshole. My ex is a doctor and this subject came up. He was terrified that he had some kind of low symptom cancer like lymphoma, or an autoimmune issue, but he didn't want to actually get it seen about. The idea of treatment was worse to him. The knowledge of exactly what was needed to find out apparently was not comforting. I hope this blows up. This is actually a good question. If my family is any example, they diagnose themselves and write prescriptions. Lol. Source: 2 doctors and 1 nurse practitioner. Actual doctor here, oncologist. It depends on the scenario. I can prescribe myself non-controlled drugs like antibiotics, steroid creams for eczema, etc., simple things I can self-diagnose clinically. If I need lab tests or workup, I need to see someone. Wife is a surgeon. Some magic happens as soon as she's on call. No longer sick. 100% fine. Then gets sick again after her shift. It has to do with some weird space-time vortex, I believe. Please put a serious tag on it so we get actual answers. Thanks all. I may buck the trend a bit, but I tend to consider any major ailment/symptom seriously, and I usually won't hesitate to consult a colleague to get their thoughts and set up an appointment with my own primary care doctor if it's something I think needs a medical workup with blood tests and radiographic imaging. That being said, my symptoms have to be damn well serious before I even think about going to the emergency room. After you've worked there and realize some of the straight-up non-emergent nonsense people complain of, it's hard to justify checking in unless I have something I think could kill me or maim me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.